Welcome everyone to Life of Giants, where we talk smack and you're going to listen. The quote for today, let me just pull it up again because I'm an idiot and I closed it. Haha, is, let's just see here. Act as if you have unmatched confidence, and then people will surely have confidence in you, from Jordan Belfort. I am Dean of the Genetic Marvel. What?
They'll think you're huge.
It's huge. I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel. There's Marco Torres from Upside Down Studios, and up top is Cole Clayton. So what do you guys think? So that was Cole's contribution for the quote this week. You love Jordan Belfort.
Not him so much as the movie. The movie's awesome. He is a fucking horrible human being.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah.
Who is he? And what movie are you talking about?
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
The main character.
No, I know DiCaprio. Fucking
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio.
He smacked a few cars and did some coke. That's what I know about Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
He did a lot more than that.
And he scammed a lot of people.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Poor people, rich people.
I thought that was him on the airplanes. And catch me if you can.
That was another person.
That was a different guy played by Leonardo DiCaprio.
Wildly, so I was talking with a friend of mine, and she was like, "I wish my son would use his powers of charisma for good." And I'm like, "But what if he's like a notorious criminal that changes everything? Like maybe like Catch Me If You Can, where that guy changed check security and all that kind of stuff, and airplane security for like everyone."
I remember watching that when I was young, and I was like, I caught it just on a whim, and I just couldn't stop watching it. It was just
a good movie, right?
It's a great story. And at the same time, like, that bastard ruined it for anybody else who wanted to commit fraud. What a prick. But, you know.
He had and he just stumbled upon such a great way of doing it, and just wow, what the hell is this?
Well, wasn't his dad kind of or am I thinking of something else? His dad wasn't his dad was a pilot. That's what I'm thinking, because I'm thinking of something else.
No, his dad was at a store or whatever.
Oh, was it? See, I'm getting my movies all mixed up now.
He tried to, so he was, this is the thing, is there's a lot of people who are like, oh, so he pretended to be a lawyer, a pilot, a doctor, and all sorts of stuff, which I'm like, that's a little bit much, but he faked everything. And you're kind of going like, you know, with enough charisma, like this is the thing, is like, with enough charisma and confidence, you can say anything and people will just believe you. Some people don't, because they're haters, and you're like, that's fine.
Fit into both of those movies we've mentioned too.
It really does.
Like, you can con the fuck out of people by just showing up and acting like you know what you're doing.
Well, that's like and even at any workplace, I used to tell my kids that, man. I mean, you know, the easiest way to get out of doing something is to make like you're doing something. You know, you always walk with purpose. You know, even if it's to the bathroom. If you're walking, you know, you're walking with purpose, and you're headed in, nobody's gonna fuck with you. You look like you're doing something. Nobody's gonna bother. You know, very rarely will somebody be like, "Hey, where you're going?" I'm trying to get there, motherfucker.
You know what I used to do in my junior and senior year of high school is I would just like leave my class, because I had one of those types of teachers who just didn't give a fuck by that point. I would wait for attendance and then just walk away. And I would walk away with like a piece of paper in my hand. And anytime I would see somebody like that looked like they were gonna fuck with me, I would just like, oh, okay. And it worked every time, bro.
This is one of those things where I've had people and they're like, you never look busy. And I'm like, but I'm busy all the time. They're like, no, your productivity, insane, but you don't look busy. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know. And they're like, you need to give off the, like, it's the same idea. While people will walk around holding a clipboard, nobody will talk to them. Nobody will bother them.
Yeah.
It's even like, so there's a bunch of young guys who've done some experiments with regards to walking into venues with a ladder and like construct like a thing vest, helmet, and the ladder, and they'll just let you in. Nobody says shit. And they've got into pretty heinous places.
Isn't that how they like pulled off a couple of the Die Hard movies?
I don't know. Maybe.
They just they walked in like they were fucking belong there, you know, and then they're like, wait a minute. Why is there
the first one? Yeah, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
No, not
that was the plot. So
no, that was the second one in the airport.
Yeah.
Because the one wing was under construction. Right. Which that's the thing is, at the same time, like the majority, like when you like general terms, right? The majority of people who work in an office are pussies. The majority of people who work in constructions, not pussies. So what are you going to go? Hey, you can't go there. Get the fuck out of my way, bro. Right. And they'll just push you out of the way and walk through. I've done the same shit. So
place it does not work. It will not work whatsoever. Even if you have a retarded kid on your arm. Is at an amusement park. They don't give a fuck. If they've been waiting in line, you take that tard to the back of the line. You're not getting up front. I've experienced it with my handicapped kids. They go, we got the pass. Oh, no, the fuck you don't. Get your ass back in the fucking line.
Bro. That's hilariously. Like,
I mean, it makes sense, though. Like, you can't just be walking up into a music park.
He's in a wheelchair.
It don't matter. Okay, walking. My bad. Sorry, rolling up. My bad. You guys, I'm sorry. You guys were walking and rolling. Okay, you guys were walking and rolling.
Look, if he's in a wheelchair though, you got to get like a little JBL speaker that just like rolling as you're just putzing around in the. I mean, like make it fun for everybody. Why not?
Take your ass over to Geauga, Ohio, with a fucking JBL on the back of your wheelchair. They'll kick that fucker off you and tell you to get to the back of the line.
Rolling on a river.
I don't know. When do you guys remember a time when like acting with confidence made a difference where you're like, I did not think that was going to work and it ended up working?
Oh yeah.
I can tell you right now, I got a great story. I was dating this chick and she was married, and then her husband pointed a gun at me, and I thought he was bluffing.
And then he got shot.
So I took the gun away from him, and I dumped the clip on the ground and handed it back to him. Later, did I find out he had every intention of killing me because I thought he was like a cheater type, and then I found out that the girl was lying about him being a cheater type. So he was actually in his mind, he's like, this motherfucker is banging my wife, blah blah blah. I've done nothing but been good to her. He was gonna kill me, and I shocked him by taking the gun away from him.
I mean, yeah, like that is pretty shocking. Like when you hold up a gun and someone's like, I'll just take that. And
you just Jason warned him. He had no fucking clue what was going on.
Neither one of us did. We were both played by the same chick, is what it came down to.
which in and of itself is fucking hilarious. Like when you think about it, you're like, oh yeah, you guys both got played. Like the issues with that is not small, but
yeah. See, anytime I've ever drawn my gun, nobody was taking them out of my hand. I actually had one person put a hand on my gun and said, "Oh, you're gonna shoot me? Then go ahead." And stuck it to like his forehead. And my exact words to him, "Oh, you think I'm playing with you? I forgot you're a crackhead." And I grabbed my other gun and I stuck it to his jaw. And while there was one to his head, one was to his jaw. And I'm like, "Oh, you think I'm playing?"
Me and Margo both just admitted to like 11 felonies and like
allegedly.
Basically. This is all just for entertainment purposes. None of this is real. Just an FYI, everyone.
And that's over fucking over 30-year story, anyways. I think the statute of limitations.
Yeah. Mine's about 10-15 now.
Remember,
Dina, do you have any gun-related stories while we're at it?
I
know you live in Canada, which is a pussy country. The pussy state of America.
Related story, I'm sure.
The only state in America that you're not allowed to have guns in.
Yeah, it's fair. Hi, Victoria. It's more so that like for me, it's always been because like the luxury that I have up here is if anyone's gonna pull something, it's a knife or brass knuckles, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. You're gonna get hurt really bad, but
not nunchucks, right?
I mean, like, bro.
See Dino getting fucked up by nunchucks.
No, I've had somebody pull out nunchucks before, and I think I got hurt on my hand, but like as he was going, I just grabbed the middle, so like hit my hand, and then I just pulled him in.
That person had no idea what he was doing if you were able to grab the middle.
Yeah, how many people know what they're doing with nunchucks? Like 3, maybe.
Dude, growing up here in the 80s, it wasn't a fucking a dude with a tan who didn't carry a set of nunchucks.
Like, so I do.
Okay, I just want to point out. I just want to point something out. Is that Marco embodies this quote, by the way, because I've never heard Marco say anything to the. I don't. I'm not real versed in that. Marco walks into every situation like I know what the fuck I'm doing, and I'm gonna do it.
And he has no idea what's happening. He's like, "That's fine. I got this."
He does. Most of the time, I'd even be willing to say he does, but like I've never. Marco embodies confidence, my guy.
Yeah,
there's been a few times where I kind of had to wing it, but best believe you didn't know it.
Yeah, that's important. I've like every time that those situations have happened has always been someone's like, "Well, you want to go?" And I'm like, "Sure." And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, and I just start walking towards them, and they're like, "I was just kidding, man. I was just playing around." I'm like, "Then you should leave. That's fine." It's
you want to know what I found really gets people. And I don't even know, it subconsciously just comes out of my mouth every time I've ever heard somebody say that to me. I don't want to fight you, man. Yeah, I wouldn't want to fight me either. Come on, let's go. You see motherfuckers pop open like
yeah. I had a director tell me fake it till you make it. See, and I know that that's a saying, but at the same time, like I've met people who are clearly faking it, and you're like, bro, number one, you're definitely faking, you're definitely not making it. So
that's how you end up with your George Bushes and your fucking Joe Bidens and dare I say the Barry Santoros faking it until they make it.
I mean, that's fine. Apex Chris Hansen says, "It's very obvious you're lying. Clearly, it's for entertainment purposes, sir. That is why we will remain monetized and entertaining the masses, because this is all just for jokes."
It's all speculation. It's all satire.
Yeah, no, this is not an admittance of guilt.
This is the best satire that you'll ever have online. This is
the best
satire. The glue that he sniffs is golden glue.
Yeah, that's right. I did have a couple times security guards tried to act tough, and one guy came up, and you know how people who look the part but have no idea what they're doing, they'll hold on to their vest like they're and they'll do this.
I get a lot of that in my front yard.
So I had a security guard do that. And I just grabbed his hands in the vest and then grabbed the vest and then just started picking him up. And he was like, "What the fuck's happening?" And I'm like, "Bro, you have no idea what you're doing."
I'm trying to look into your camera, little man.
I'm like, "Heidi ho, this ain't coming home." So it's always hilarious when people are like, "You know what I am?" And I'm like, let's find out.
5'2" and 130 pounds. That's what you are, motherfucker.
It's always one of those things, right?
You got to hit him with the Khabib quote, "Bro, I will take you into deep waters and let you discover yourself."
Bro, I also love when he's like, "I'm going to smash your boy tomorrow. Thank you." And you're like, Jesus Christ. And then he smashed your boy, bro. He smashed him good.
I think he said, "I'm going to destroy your boy."
Yeah. Well, no, the Key and Peele do a thing where it's like that, where it's two fighters are talking shit about them, and the one guy, I'm assuming, is imitating Khabib, because he's like, "I'm going to open his soul and make him realize why God doesn't love him." And he's like, "Hey man, it's just a fight. What the fuck is this guy saying?" He's like, "I'm going to make his soul leave his body in 3 seconds." He's like, whoa, man, that is not what I want. And you're like, yeah, I've always.
Khabib was a killer for real.
Yeah, but he's a psychopath, right? Like it's that whole. There's two big guys who got into it, and the one guy looks frumpy but big. The other guy, well sculpted, big, and he's very. And the big guy you notice he's got like star tattoos on his chest and stuff, and you're like, that guy's a murderer, bro. Like that guy has killed people, and he's looking at him. He's like, okay. The ref's like, this is what you do. He's like, okay. Another is like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm like, every time I see somebody who's like trying to ramp themselves up, I'm like, okay, no problem. Listen, I'm gonna take your eyeballs out. Okay, just a quick look. And people were like, what the fuck did you say? I'm like, yeah, just listen, I'm just gonna grab your skull and just go poop, and then you're gonna be unvisioned.
I think that's the best, like the best like that Khabib was the best like immortalization of this quote, because if you think about who he ended up, he beat everybody pretty much.
Yeah.
And then you think fake overinflated confidence, Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
I don't think he was fake. I think he's so Irish.
He's shorter than Joe, bro. He's shorter than Joe Rogan. Okay, like that guy is 100% a midget.
McGregor it suffers from probably centuries of de-evolution from alcoholism and inbreeding on a very small island that has 12 million people still, even after all the immigration.
Dude, there's a movie.
And he's just like, I can defeat anybody. Yeah, okay. And he got his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, but the confidence level of that man, even in his movies.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a movie, I think that was it the remake of Roadhouse?
Roadhouse,
where they put the word out and he just walked out butt naked, walked down the fucking road, and he walked. Somebody say he looked at somebody who's like, I like that suit. And next thing you know, he was wearing that suit.
Which is like, see, this is the wild part is like, I love the clip where they're like, what's going on here? And he's walking around, but he sounds like Popeye. He's like, and you're like, what the fuck is happening? He's got his arms out like this, and you're like, does he not know he's 5 foot tall? Like, what? I don't understand what's happening.
Well, in Ireland, that's 7 foot tall. To be fair, like he's an Irish 7-footer.
And to go back to what Dino was saying, like I've run across a couple of the tough guy types, and by no means have I ever been a tough guy. I just will not be the man that backs down. You know, if I know I could gouge your fucking eyeball out, I'm taking your eyeball out. But if I know that I might get fucked up, I'm still not gonna bow out gracefully. You know what I'm saying?
You'll remember today that I may lose, but you're gonna remember forever. So,
I mean, I'll never forget. When I first got my very first house, my ex and I, like her 3 kids, I raised her 3 kids. Well, it was at a point in time where her oldest daughter, my daughter Mackenzie, she was going through that phase where why doesn't my real dad want to be around? Why doesn't my real dad love me? This and that. And I mean, as a step parent, you got to go through that. And I know the hell that I went through with my kids. I didn't know exactly the story between my ex and her ex. So as a man, I figured I'm going to try to, at least see if I could have. So I've never met this dude.
Yeah.
Worst fucking mistake I could have did. The dude's one of the biggest piece of shits in the world. I'll even say his name online. Eddie Chacon, you're a fucking piece of shit. I still have teeth marks on the barrel, allegedly, of one of my guns.
Jesus.
He come to my house one day. Like I found out that his old lady at the time was a bartender at this bar I used to frequent.
Yeah.
Her and I got to talking. She told me who he was, she was, and everything. I was like, well, if he ever wants to talk to his daughter, that's great. Tell him to get a hold of me. I'll make an arrangement or whatever. Man to man, if this is your daughter and this is what you choose, I can't keep you away from your kid.
Nope.
So
and you shouldn't. Right, like realistically,
right. So one day I come home from work,
state of Ohio,
and this big motherfucker, he's at least a foot taller than me, twice my size. He's sitting in my fucking house, and he's got this, that kind of the insulting compliments.
Yeah, the backhanded kind of comments.
Yeah, I didn't think a house this nice would be on a street like this. And you're like, thanks.
Shit like that. Stupid shit like that. He was like, oh, I thank you for appreciated for taking care of my daughter. Oh, you're just a little guy. Oh, it's gonna be one of these types of deals. Like I said, I just came home from work. I walked in, he was in my dining room. I got a house full of fucking kids and people.
Yeah.
I fucking walked. My bedroom was off the dining room, and these words is what made me fucking load my gun. "Oh, you don't have to go get your gun or nothing." Oh, I wasn't even thinking about going to get my gun, but now I am.
I mean, now I'm gonna because I'll trust you now.
We're gonna play that game, no problem.
So I go into my bedroom and I make sure my gun is sitting under my fucking blanket there. And I get out of my work clothes and I'm like, well, you want to go talk? We're going to go talk outside.
Sure.
So we go outside and I sit in the car. I sat in the front seat of a car with him. And his buddy he got in the back seat behind me. Idiot didn't realize that I spoke Spanish too. So while he's trying to, speak whatever broken fucking Spanish he tried to, basically he told the dude in the back seat to put a gun to the back of my head.
Oh,
so me and him are conversing now. He's going at me.
Can I stop you just for half a second? Who makes the mistake of thinking you don't speak Spanish, by the way? Because you look like you speak Spanish. I would just assume.
Another wannabe Hispanic.
Okay, continue.
So he starts running his mouth, and he proceeds to run his mouth in his front seat, thinking that I'm fucking his old lady, the barmaid. I'm like, here I found out it was just a big ploy. This piece of shit wanted to get back in my old lady's pants, and that was his way of doing it. But he thought he was going to intimidate me. So after he does his little spiel in the car, I'm like, well, dude, you ain't never thought, I don't know you from fucking Adam. While you're sitting here in my fucking face, your old lady could be bent over somebody else's fucking house. Just tell him. And I fucking get out the car, even though I knew I had the gun to the back of my head. Mm-hmm. I mean, right at that point, I'd have shot me.
So, 100%. I'd have shot you too.
Now I got neighbors starting to come outside and shit. Yeah. And I walk back in the house. I wouldn't ever let me walk back in the house. I'll tell you that.
Right.
I walked back in the house. I told my kids that were in the house, or my oldest daughter, Maria, I told her to gather up your sisters, go take them upstairs into the bedroom, go up under the bed.
Yep.
And my daughter already knew. She's like, Dad, is this going to happen all the time? No, he's not coming back.
Yeah. Simple.
So I went into my bedroom. I cocked my K and I came back out while he's outside now running his mouth like he's Mr. Big Shit to the neighborhood, thinking that I just went and turned tail. He got the taste with the end of a fucking Ukrainian fucking AK fucking taste like. And now you disrespected me.
Yep.
You disrespected my home. Oh. You're disrespecting my fucking neighbors, and now you're disrespecting my kids. Give me a reason why I shouldn't bury you in my front yard. Well, I slammed the hammer forward, and Mr. Big Shot magically running his mouth quieter and quieter in reverse and gets into the fucking car and drives away. Magically, dude in the back seat with the gun sitting there shitting on himself. So, I mean, sometimes, the people who are overly confident.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you'd be like, oh, no, little bitch. Wait a minute.
I think that's what's also important is you have to, like, if you're gonna fake confidence, you kind of have to know, like, it's you have to read the room.
Yeah.
We're all comedians. We're pretty good at reading the room. It's
part of the job. It's part of the job. What's up, Zane? Thanks for coming back. But that's like, I feel like that's one of those things where you almost immediately, like, there's a difference in having confidence, even if you don't know what you're doing, versus faking confidence, right? Because the people who fake confidence, as soon as they're met with the slightest bit of resistance, they fall apart, right? Whereas but that's the thing is, like, whereas I'm like, I walk into a room and I'm like, I'm not worried. Like, I've had people who are like, are you worried about? I'm like, no. I'm like, whoa, that's a dark alley. And I'm like, I'm much scarier than anything in that dark alley. So
I don't know. I disagree with you because, like, I don't know if you can tell this about me, but I don't have any confidence in myself anytime anything that comes out of my mouth. Or like true confidence. Like I just kind of just wing everything.
I've ever seen Cole have confidence is when he wanted to beat up Ryan.
Which was great.
I was half waiting for him to go like kung fu or something. I gotta be honest with you.
He did push him a couple times. He pushed him a couple times, and he was waiting for him to try. As soon as Ryan made a fist, that was over. And he was just like, he pushed him, and the funny thing is, like, Ryan does not have the greatest of balance either. So you pushed him, and he's like,
dude, I pushed him, and he turned into like a cloud. It was the craziest shit. It was so weird. He like vaporized.
Yeah, and it was just like,
shit on yourself if he came back with a dim mock and fucking
that's what I was
one time in the titties and your drawers just fell down.
I was like, I legit was going into fight or flight mode because I was like, okay, I'm getting in a fight. I have to assume he knows how to fight, and he just never turned it on, bro. Like,
no, Ryan.
I was like, and I was getting more angry in my own head because I'm waiting. I'm like, he's gonna side swipe me or something. I'm gonna turn around. He's gonna punch me in the back. Like, and I just winding myself up even more.
Sweep the leg.
Sweep the leg.
They're gonna jump me. I don't know what's going on. I'm just getting more and more mad, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
well, don't slam my door.
You know that reminds me of. Here's one of my favorite quotes from a movie. It says, I'm gonna try to get into character to say it.
Okay.
My romantic rival, Dumbo. He's tied up in the trunk. I'm doing as you said, DP. I plan to gut him like a polluted fish, then dump his carcass on Gita's doorstep.
The accent was completely unnecessary, but fantastic.
The accent was way over the top. That was not his accent in the movie.
Yeah.
Mr. Pool, Mr.
It was very mild in the movie.
So mean. No, but
it took me a second to figure out what the fuck you were saying. Like,
that was okay. That was supposed to be the taxi driver from the Deadpool movies, Victoria.
Yeah, Dopinder.
Yeah. Did you wear your brand pants today? It's perfect. No, it's fine. It's like, but that's
what was that in the trunk?
That was Bunda.
I did not. That was taken out of context.
Bandu, Bunda. Bandu, Bunda, same thing.
I think Bunda was his girl.
No, that was Gita.
Gita. Yeah, well, yeah.
That was a great movie.
That
was a great movie.
It was. It was. Even
the second one was good, but you could tell where corporate stuck their dick in right when they jumped out the airplane. That is exactly where corporate stuck their dick in. They're like, all right, we had all these cool characters, now kill them all off because we're not paying them.
I mean, hilariously, Brad Pitt was in it for like 1.3 seconds, which are like, that's fantastic. What's up, Serge? How you doing, buddy? But all he did was get electrocuted on the wires, and you saw it. I'm like, that was Brad Pitt. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
I mean, they brought back Peter.
Terry Crews fucking the cameo.
Yeah.
Just one scene, the whole fucking movie got wiped away, and it went back to Deadpool.
Basically, yeah. I mean, come on.
Which would have been fucking hilarious if they did that in Deadpool and Wolverine. If they just did a scene where, like, just all of them, Gambit, fucking Blade, all of them, all the Deadpools, all the fucking bad guys, just gone in like less than a 5-second skit. Just everybody fell into a shredder, and he's standing there in the void, like, this again?
Yeah. How does this keep on happening? Yeah, that would be entertaining. Let's be honest. That's I feel like
that would have cut down a lot of the slog on that movie. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I'm still hoping. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but one of the things, like the guy Shatterstar that in, he's like, I'm just better than you guys at everything. You're like, so he's from the Mojo universe, which has a really cool character, which is real. And I'm like, I have my fingers crossed, but I'm sure it's gonna get fucked up. So I'm like,
they had Cole from fucking Mortal Kombat play him. Right when that happened, we knew he was never coming back.
No.
You see how shitty of a person he was in Mortal Kombat? They're not even bringing him back for the sequel. I hear he dies in the fucking like first few minutes of the sequel.
God, I don't know. It like this is where like I have a feeling that a lot of people are underconfident, and then a whole group of he was also Iron Fist. Oh, I didn't know that.
Iron Fist garbage.
It was Iron
garbage show.
That was such a garbage show. The worst part was that it wasn't about the Iron Fist. It was about a guy becoming the Iron Fist, which you're like, that's not the same story. Like, that's an origin story. We've got 19 Spider-Mans on that shit. Let's calm the fuck down.
Danny Rand should have went together with Shang Tsung, or not Shang Tsung, Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi was a good movie.
that
He
story
was good.
should have melded together because Danny Rand was supposed to be the person who was guarding the gates where the fucking dragon was at. You know,
What
the
took
one.
me out of it was that the fucking Iron Fist was white. I'm like, this don't. They're not even just that
Well,
he's
that's the
white,
way
but
the
like
comic
an
book
American.
He is white in the comic book. Yeah.
Is he really? I always
Yeah.
assumed he was Asian. I don't know why.
So
And he eventually teamed up with Luke Cage.
Luke Cage and Iron Fist. So
now we're getting deep cuts here.
what I love to do is I like to tell people, especially when Shang-Chi came out, I'm like, see, a lot of people are celebrating this as the first Asian superhero movie, which is false.
Right.
Well, the first Asian superhero was actually Doctor Strange because his superpower was studiousness. He was a good student.
Well,
That's an Asian movie.
And he's got the Fu Manchu.
Yeah, basically, I'm like, that's the most Asian guy. He was good at homework. Boom, top tier Asian.
The
surgeon.
The bald lady that they had in the Marvel movies was actually a Fu Manchu guy that they gender swapped.
Oh yeah. Which is, why is she Irish? I don't understand. Why would you do that? You're like,
leprechauns. The leprechaun power. That's the rainbow. You know how Disney went for a while.
Victoria is like, Doctor Strange is my favorite. That's just because
I do like Doctor Strange.
You ever see the original Doctor Strange? Like they were gonna make an original Doctor Strange movie back in the early '80s, and I guess the licensing died out or whatever. Yeah. So instead of Doctor Strange, we got Dr. Mordred. It's the played in the Reanimator. Never even heard of that? Like everything was all the same except his last name. The outfit, the fucking his sanctorum, his whatever the fuck it is, his rectorum or whatever. The chick who the bad chick, whatever the hell her name was, even the demon that they used to fucking everything was in there. The only thing that they changed was Mordred.
Dr. Mordred. Okay. I'm looking at the images for this, and oh yeah, the guy from Reanimator. Oh, and he looks super Doctor Strangey.
Victoria says Marco's background kind of has a Doctor Strange vibe to it. So when you say his background, you mean like the 3D or the green screen, or do you mean like like is on his way to becoming like the mystic? What is it? The dark arts.
It may just be his Mexican heritage.
He can be a wizard on Bleecher Street.
No, but this is actually, you know what, Dr. Mordred, Master of the Unknown. That's a cool name. I wanna check this out.
You do seem like somebody would get in a really bad car accident and then need to go and learn magic to fix your hand.
Later on in life, there is a Doctor Strange movie, and that Doctor Strange that looked like it was a porno. Like that looks like a porno that they took the porn out of.
No, yeah, that was lightweight, kind of what I was like implying. If you were your Doctor Strange timeline, if you became Doctor Strange, you would fuck up your hands in a car accident, and you would be like, "I can't jack off anymore. I need to learn magic."
Nah, mine was more. I did too much coke, and my dick don't work no more. I'm going to learn magic to make it rise again.
I feel like that would be a very popular spell. Like that's
I feel like I don't think that would be called Doctor Strange. I feel like that would be called Magic Johnson.
Okay, hold on. Henry Smith says, talk about sports and women, please. Number one, sports are ridiculous because whether they win or lose, they're rich and you're poor and out.
Yeah, and this is America. There is no women in sports anymore. It's just guys in dresses.
Bro, so I've been watching what's her name? Angel Reese.
It should be. Who wants to watch women play sports, by the way?
Hey, Angel Reese. I watched her doing so apparently she has very high rebounds. What they don't disclose is that they're rebounds from her failed shots most of the time because she sucks. But like
women, you know, the
rebound. I'd look her name. I forget her name. I don't laugh at her fucking quote.
Well, the wild part is that she, like, you look at her and you're like, I think she thinks she's playing volleyball because she keeps on doing this, and I'm like, that's not for basketball. That's this.
It gets them numbers up, though. It gets them numbers up.
Bro, there's only one reason people started watching the WNBA, and it's not Angel Reese. I loved how she was like, I'm famous too. You're like, that's like, I'm in charge, Okay, well, let's agree to disagree. Calm down.
I think everybody started watching the WNBA when that idiot got caught in Russia with the weed.
That
the chick from Grindr or whatever
chick?
the fuck.
Chick? Let's
call
it.
The chick that's on Grindr or no, Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner, yeah. The one that ended up in Russia.
Yeah. Hilariously, that I'm like, why would you get her back? Just leave her there. That's fine. She went there to play basketball, did a crime. Let her suffer. That's fine.
While she was still over there, I posted on True Social on Trump's thing while he was still running. I was like, you want to get America back on your side? Go over there, get her out. But before she's allowed to step back on American soil, make her apologize to the United States and tell her thank you. And thank you, Mr. President. Sorry, United States. Now disappear into the background.
Yeah.
No, she had to come here. She had to sand down her titties or whatever she did. She had to do all this other horse shit.
I don't know. She's trying to get that equal pay, bro.
Where?
She's trying to get that.
The highest NBA player is like to what compared to the lowest NBA player.
That's what Angel Reese said. Like 2 days ago, she was like, we have less games, so our games are more valuable than the NBA. And some of us play better than some NBA players.
No, you don't.
Like, the best WNBA players might play better than some bench players. I'd like to see the G League, which is the NBA's minor league. Yeah. I'd like to see a G League team go up against a WNBA All-Star team and see what happens, bro.
Listen, hey, you know what? It's things like that I'm like, in all honesty, what you need to do is go, okay, the NBA is now gender neutral, men and women, and there are no mandates as to how many women you need. No, if you qualify, you're in. Simple.
Yeah. Hold on.
When you take that 7-foot elbow to the fucking tit meat, like, I don't want to hear it. Like,
the NBA actually
grabs your face and just slams into the ground. Don't want to hear a fucking thing. You're just.
You know what the NBA stands for?
What?
Do you know what the NBA stands for?
National Basketball Association.
Yeah. Where in there does it say that it's not gender neutral?
Fair point. Hey, you know what?
It is gender neutral. It's just no chicks are good enough to play in that league.
Oh, I'm sorry. Listen, why don't you get Gorlock the Destroyer from the fucking internet and get them onto a football field? Let's go. Come on. Still got a dick. Let's see what happens. Hey, I actually wrestled. So there were 2 women in my high school that were like over 6 feet. Like they were probably about 6 feet, but they were like beefy women. And the one of them wanted to wrestle, and I'm like, and they're like, Dino, you have to wrestle. I'm like, I'm not comfortable with that. And she like, stop being a bitch. And I'm like, all right. And 3 seconds later, she's on the ground, and she's like, can you teach me how to do that? I'm like, yeah, I can teach you. And the move that I taught her ended up getting her a gold medal when she went, because I'm like, yeah, you're the biggest person there. What are you worried about? I'm like, you could just manhandle people. She's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, I will show you by manhandling you, and then I'll teach you how I manhandled you. It's very simple.
And that is how Dino lost his virginity.
Oh no!
I did have to throw the plot to She-Hulk.
I did have to throw away like 3 shirts because she wore a lot of foundation. It was like it's just smeared on my gym clothes, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Like it's foundation. I'm like,
that's what it is. That's rape. That's rape. When you have her face imprint from one titty going down, that means you pressed her head down somewhere.
That's her accountability wiping away.
I really tried not to because I was like, I feel very uncomfortable with this. She's like, stop being a bitch. And I'm like, I don't like that. I'm like, okay.
She said, stop being a bitch. Dino's got harder. He's like,
I would ask the same question as Victoria. She said, ooh, who wears foundation?
Hey, Adam, and we love you.
People with non-natural melanin. That's who wears foundation.
No, like she was black.
Cole could wear foundation. How?
I need some foundation.
What is black on black foundation?
Black on black. Yeah. Do black people even need foundation?
Hey man. Hey. I don't know, but I'm telling you, it was covered on my gym
I
stuff.
feel
And I
like
was like,
you just had a big smear of chocolate across your
Dino,
chest.
you lost your virginity to a black girl?
I did not. No, that's not what happened.
Yeah, right. Because the wife is on. That's why you don't want to admit it.
Bro, and you know what? As soon as you said that, everyone funneled in and is like, ah! And I'm like, that's not what's the subject tonight. The subject is having confidence and
Dino's virginity.
it's
Yeah,
not
and
Dino's virginity.
Dino had a big chocolate skid mark across his chest, which was basically the implant of a black girl's head going down on him.
It makes me feel uncomfortable because there's times when like it may have been a shit stain. I'm like, I don't know. What happened. It's not-
I thought you were specifically told to stay away from the chiclet people.
I was. I was. It's true. Nick Tucker, 17. Welcome, sir. Yeah, we are talking about confidence and how if you're confident enough that people will just believe you. Nick Gorbachev, once again, I'm sloshed. And hey, you know what? It's Monday, and I feel like that's how you end Monday is getting a little bit tipsy.
So
right.
you ever get like an instant confidence, like a confidence you didn't know, but you just rode with it?
Oh yeah.
When I was younger, not so much anymore.
Like the first swingers club I ever went to, I think it was like the second time I was there. At one point in time in the night, everybody's naked walking around. Well, I was not only one of the youngest ones there, apparently I was one of the most hung ones there. It doesn't happen very often for me, but hey, when I realized it, I'm walking around dick slinging like a macaque at a walk. I'm walking everywhere. You're not even supposed to be in the kitchen area with your dick hanging out, and I'm standing there just fucking bullshitting. Just as soon as I got the lay of the land, oh yeah, I'm bigger than anybody in here. I'm the king of this bitch tonight.
That is exactly.
Hey, the lower you are to the ground, the lower it is to the ground, right?
Fucking right. Fucking right.
So where's the other Nick Tucker? Hey, Victoria, I don't know. I'm not sure where he is, but hopefully he comes by. See, what I had, actually, you know what I like to do, people? You know when you have like a poster tube, right? Is I'll put it in towards somebody and be like, can you grab that? No. I'll hand them one end. I'm like, grab that. And they'll grab it. I'm like, yeah, it's about that big. And they're like, why are you so gross? And I'm like, isn't that gross?
Yeah, but when you do that to people, especially in front of your wife, you're just telling the world that your wife is all whole.
Jesus, kill you.
Let's calm down. No, I would usually do it to my own siblings. That's
that's
kind of weird. That's kind of weird.
Well, listen,
you're oddly close to your family.
Yeah,
well, not anymore. Not anymore.
Didn't your brother die recently?
That's like my sister's all whole now.
Yeah, my brother.
Dino's brother died recently, and now I want to know how he died. What'd you do to him?
Oh, he ate himself to death.
He was eating that dick to death.
Why would I fuck my own brother? What the?
Why are you fucking your sister?
I didn't ever fuck my sister.
Dino's Kentucky Fried fuck.
I'm not. No, that's not what happened. Fellas, the next time your lady drags you to Target, grab a Red Bull while you're in there and take her to Harbor Freight directly.
That's my tweet again.
That's all you.
Nick, stop.
I don't know what Harbor Freight is.
Harbor Freight discount store. Those are for your throwaway tools.
Oh, well, hey.
That's all I got. All I got are Harbor Freight tools.
They have. I give Harbor Freight, their props over the years since they first started, and you got like pretty much flea market tools to now. They've kicked it up quite a bit. Their tools are, I wouldn't say they're A quality, but they're at least a C plus now. Whereas back in the day, that grinder was a one-time use grinder. You could go to Walmart and get you a $30, $40 grinder, or you go to Harbor Freight and get you a $5, $10 grinder. They're going to do the same job for the first 20 minutes.
I mean, you get what you pay for. And if you want $5, one job, that's fine. I spent $5.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way it used to be, man. I mean, sometimes look, I got to get this job done. I don't have the money, and they didn't have loaning tool back then.
Right.
So, you went and you got your Harbor Freight fucking jack, and, you threw some tires under the car, and hopefully the jack worked twice. You use the grind. You got 20 minutes on that brand new grinder. Don't even open the box up until you're ready to use it.
Just it oxidizes immediately and just turns to dust after 20 minutes. I mean,
Marco was explaining it. I'm realizing in real time as Marco explains this why every time I go to do a job with my tools, I have to be pissed off, and it has to be a 3-hour thing when it really should be only 15 minutes. This makes so much sense. Yeah. I'm buying shit quality tools.
Well, yeah. I mean, you ever put a socket on a fucking on a nut and the socket disintegrates?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Harbor Freight tools.
Bro, I remember we were using a 48-inch pipe wrench for a job, and we broke 3 of them in a row. Okay, and the thing is, they were Craftsmen, so we could just take them back and be like,
"Oh yeah, Craftsmen went to shit over the years too."
But now they've gone to shit. So after the 3rd time, we started going to other Canadian Tires, and we're like, "I broke," and they're like, "How did you break this?" And we're like, "It just broke." When bro, we had this turning, and then we had like a 4x2 square tubing, like a full length on it. So it was 24 feet, and the first 4 feet was on the handle, and then it was my fat ass at the end jumping up and going, yeah, and just trying to pull. So yeah, that thing snapped.
You want to talk about overinflated confidence? Look at me before I start working on my car versus after I have decided I'm not going to work on this car no more. Like for the day.
Ain't nothing like getting your confidence beaten out of you by a fucking vehicle, dude.
Yeah. Especially living in the Rust Belt, man. Dino, do you live in the Rust Belt? Is that where I don't know, you're close enough, but do you live in the Rust Belt?
I don't know what a bus belt is.
Rust belt.
Yeah.
A rust belt?
Yeah. Do they throw a lot of salt on your road?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get a lot of rust on your car, right?
That's just the country.
Oh my God, it sucks so much. That's not a thing down in Texas.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah.
Oh, it's a thing up here in Ohio.
It sucks, bro.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's tonight's topic, Harbor Freight, or is Marco fucked up? I mean, yes. The answer is yes. I feel like it's, yeah. You see, this is where... Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, this is the thing is, the one thing you start to learn over time is you're buy good tools. And also, you have your good tools, and then someone needs help. I have these different tools. Those are called Ryobi. And you're it's good quality, but it's cheap. That's fine. You can break it. That's fine. But just replace it.
Ryobi's still a decent name, man.
No. But it's Ryobi is discount Milwaukee, right? Milwaukee and Ryobi are technically the same. But
Ryobi impact driver.
Milwaukee over here is the Bauer. If you want Bauer at Harbor Freight is the discount Milwaukee's. Because I got a Bauer Impact. It's badass, but I know it's only got so many uses out of it.
Yeah. I've burned out drills. I've burned out grinders before. Jesus.
Oh, grinders! I've went through grinders like you wouldn't believe.
Well, this is.
I think you do spend a lot of time on grinder. Both of you.
Why do you have to make it gay every time? That's not what the Rust Belt means.
I don't stripping for charity, and you're Greek. I can't help it. Okay. You don't call me gay all the time because of my little soft voice, my baby hands.
That's also true. That is that. Yeah.
Did you say baby hands or baby ass?
That too.
I mean, it's kind of one of those things. It's fine.
What's
Sunbelt corn? There's
Adam, go ahead, fill me in, bro. What does the Rust Belt mean? Go ahead, fill me in. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Actually, what is the Rust Belt? The Rust Belt is a term used to describe a geographic region stretching from New York through the Midwest that was once dominated by the coal industry, steel production, and manufacturing. So,
oh my God, Cole knows words.
No, well, you failed successfully. So it's yes, that's the Rust Belt, but that's not what it means. So
that is what it
thanks
means.
for looking out, Adam. We appreciate you,
bro.
I mean, yeah, but it's not called the Rust Belt. It's called the Rust Belt because it was all manufacturing and steel and stuff like that, right? So
there was rusted.
Now it's gone.
Yeah, now it's all gone. It's all that stuff.
Go to a steel mill in Cleveland. It ain't nothing but rust there.
Yeah, that's the point.
There's no steel. There's no mill.
No one's salting a steel mill. It just rusts because it's steel.
You know what I heard? I don't know how much time you spent in Cleveland, Marco, but I heard a vicious rumor that I want to know if it's true or not. I heard in the middle of the night in Cleveland Steel Yard, you can hear like the sound of like the industry working, bro. Like the ghosts of all the people who killed themselves after the steel mills left.
No, see, I hear in the steel yards in particular of Cleveland that in the middle of the night, if you hear anything quiet, you're being mugged. You're being mugged. Somebody's cooking crack, maybe. There was actually a couple months ago that there's a beeper of a dead person that's just going off in
a beeper.
It's moving around.
It's been a while, bro.
Bro,
like,
that is
somebody murdered a chick, and they still have either their beeper or their phone, and they can trace it. They go to work somewhere in the steel yards, dude, but nobody's going down there to go find it.
Well, this is the thing too. Is like the
She died 1997, and she had a beeper.
Look, the ruins of manufacturing, what's left, like, because even wood mills and all that, like, they're all just decrepit things, right? Like, it's sad to see that shit because you're like, bro, the amount of stuff that came out of those places is wild. And even like I've been to places that manufacture steel, and you see stuff, and you're going, what the fuck's that used for? They're like a bridge across an ocean. You're like, Jesus Christ. And you're like, it's an I-beam that's fucking 4 feet tall. And you're like, how do you're like, bro, you strap a truck on one end and wheels on the other, and then
you roll
hope
it
no
up.
one stops you and just start driving, take every turn real wide.
The same thing as how the pyramids were built. They're not going to understand it in 1,000 years.
Well, you threw a lot of Jews at the sand, and all of a sudden the pyramids.
That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit.
They threw tens of thousands of Jews at the sand, and automatically there was a pyramid.
When have you ever seen a Jew do any type of manual labor? Get the fuck out of here.
Andrew Schultz had it right. He goes, they may have had the contract, but they weren't lifting stone. Like, that's not.
Yeah,
that's the same reason. Look,
they imported the Mexicans to do that.
Yeah, listen. You see pyramids in Egypt, and you're like, clearly there was some other force that did this. It wasn't Egyptians. And then you're like, it was the Jews. You're like, okay, that's not. They don't do that kind of work. Then you're like, you see them in like Asia and India, and you're going, yeah, but they can't lift rocks. They're very small people. It's not reasonable.
Well,
whereas
intricate little stone in the Asians and stuff. You notice their temples, they're like real intricate, and they're made in small levels, like the pagodas and all that. They're tall, but each level is like that big.
Marco, do you know where Egypt is?
Yes.
Go ahead, tell me.
It's in Africa.
Who do you think was building them fucking pyramids?
The NBA. It was the
same people that built America.
Two football teams, an NBA team. They were just, no hockey teams though. No hockey teams were building it.
They were of the Democrat persuasion.
Hilariously though, the best part is that when everyone sees pyramids in Mexico, they're like, yeah, Mexicans built that 100%. That's definitely what Mexicans built. Factual.
Even Greece, if you go to Greece and you see like the Parthenon and all of them, you see the detail and everything. Bro, you see that, you're like, yeah, the Greeks did that marble. They got the marble from the Italians, but the Greeks fucking shaped it.
Well, and like, as shitty as it sounds, like all the best stuff came from when slavery was around. Like, like if you look at how America looks, like things are built now, it looks like shit. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying.
Well,
like, like shit now because
this is
did we talk about this earlier? I mean, if you want something good somewhere, you just throw a particular type of person at the ground.
It doesn't have to be a particular person.
Will die, and then you end up with a railroad across the country.
I believe it.
A man with no rights.
They're
people, like women, but stronger.
It's people of an industrious nature that you don't have to. You only have to feed. That's basically what that is.
Unions fucking all up, bro.
Throw melanated people on the ground, and you beat them enough, and boom! All of a sudden, your shit starts happening.
That's not entirely true because Irish people were slaves too, and I'm sure they did very good work.
Melanin for a quick minute there.
I've never seen an Irish person work. Don't get me wrong, but I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
I got ginger kids. Them, my son works his ass off. He didn't
Just not in the summertime, right?
He looks like a doodle pad now, but I'm assuming that he added his own melanin.
Yeah, he had to give it. He had to get that sun was beating down on him. You got to think about it. He had to shade it in.
I felt bad for my son. He was a roofer in the summer. I'm like, how are you not spontaneously combusting, boy?
Yeah,
hey, I was a roofer too. That shit sucks.
That's bro. Every time I've heard somebody say, "Oh, I'm a roofer," you're like, "Oh, you made bad choices. That's too bad."
Roofing,
Well,
roofing into carpet.
Good
Let's
gig.
put it like that. I was like, I'm gonna work somewhere where air conditioning is.
And that's not roofing. That is not roofing.
I started in roofing and then I got into flooring because I was like, nah, fuck the
I need
top
something.
part. I want
a little,
the bottom part now.
Yeah. I'm gonna start at the bottom. That's fine. Yeah. Let's switch this up. No, that's fair. I don't know. Yeah, I like. This is where it gets weird, right? Like that, the idea that you're right is that anytime something really insane has happened, like I've been to the Parthenon, and I'll tell you, I've been like 7 times, and every time I'm like, man, this is amazing. Like it's an incredible thing to see, right?
I would like to go to the Coliseum, but I want to go to the basement of the Coliseum. I want to see where they used to just feed the fucking like people to the animals.
They don't let you in though. Like the worst part is that they don't just not let you in, but they don't let people research the area, because like the fact is the Coliseum within minutes could go from full of water to dry, because like they would have actual ships fight in there to depict a war thing.
I tell you.
Yeah. Like it's really cool stuff. But like
it's probably the Illuminati meets there is what it really is.
I mean, for probably gay shit. That's fine. That's what they do. They're like, we gotta be secret. I'm Irish.
So you can say fuck you, but what you cannot do is call me a liar.
It's funny how that button gets pushed. You're like, man, you're like, did I lie though?
I got ginger kids, and yeah, you are a fucking liar. I don't watch them fuckers work for a while.
I said Irish. I'm not saying ginger.
It's not consistent work. It's not, it's more of a melanated kind of work schedule, but they do work. They do work.
They're night walkers.
I have a question. Is it because they're dyslexic and they don't understand what a ginger is? They mix up all the letters and they think.
No, but I tell a joke real similar to that on stage, and mostly in black bars, and it takes them a minute to get the concept of it.
Well, they're not known for their spelling abilities. Come on.
The Irish? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. We'll say the Irish. We'll be safe on that one.
The Irish are just white Mexicans.
Little lower.
They are all short.
They come over here, all this is landscape, and take your job. That's it.
Well, they're some good haggis.
Yeah, well, their food is not as good. Don't get me wrong.
No. Irish
white people food is never. White people. That was one thing that was our challenge. Like we are culinarily challenged. Like ethnic people, they got it figured out. But
why do you think that is?
Stick to war. That's what we're gonna do.
Well, because white people were going to buy black folks, and Spanish people were going to buy spices. You ever notice? If you look at any of the trades, anybody with melanin, we're going to get spice. We're going to get spices. We're going to get spices. You ask the Pilgrim, we're taking land and people.
Isn't that what the British were doing too, though?
Yeah.
Isn't that why I heard they invaded Indian over Indian food, and I'm like, that makes sense because Indian food sucks, and so does the British food.
I like Indian food better than fucking the UK's food.
Indian food is leaps and bounds better than English food, but it's still one of the lower tier foods.
I will say that I ate like 4 curry chicken pockets earlier, and like it's going down. But I'll tell you what, once you're done eating them, if you put your fingers past your nose, it's like a diaper full of Indian food. Like I made the mistake of picking my nose after I was done, and it's like I had a shitty diaper in my nostril for the past 2 hours.
That is fair. Well, the problem is that Indian food has just a ridiculous amount of spicing to it, where you're like, okay, everything tastes the same. Like, what are you guys doing? Like, it doesn't, right? Indian food
bad.
in London is fantastic. That's also true.
But is white people food in London any good? No.
Oh, so
white people food is not good anywhere.
So if you get like roasts or pies, they are usually good. But when you get into like, oh, we made a salad, you're like, this is just vegetables in a bowl. It's not. You didn't make a salad.
I think the only thing white people did, and can you really even call them white, was sausage. What was it? And that's the Polish and the Germans. Do you really call them white? They're Eastern European.
No, they're definitely not white.
They're white, but they're like.
Remember, those are actually Caucasians, right? Like, so that's not
the mountain of Caucasus. Yeah,
yeah, they're from the mountain of the Caucasus. That's a Caucasus child. It's not. It's whereas you're like white folk, like white folk. You're like, oh no, they don't. You're
right.
like, what's that? Pepper? Jesus! You're like, let's calm down.
They can blend in, but
I mean, you got the Italians. The Italians were kind of white.
Only until 9/11. After 9/11, they're white. Before that,
it was definitely Vietnam. Vietnam did it for them. Korea. Was it Vietnam or Korea? Korea. That's the one.
9/11. 9/11 was when that ironed out.
What are we going to do with the Italians?
Exactly. That's why they're like, I'm just Italian. Eh, boppity boopity. And they're like, oh, okay, there's not.
Rocky,
he looks like a terrorist, but he's not. Bro, my
Rocky
brother.
made him white because every white dude in 1977 wanted to be Rocky.
Yeah, it's true.
I wouldn't know I wasn't there, but
yeah, no. There are still people who are like, I'm Rambo. You're like, you're not.
No. If you take anything from what we talked about tonight, confidence. If you can be super confident by just lying and knowing that nobody can verify it. Now, none of us were alive in 1977. I think Marco might have barely been alive, but he still wasn't really all there.
He lost his virginity in 77. That's fine.
Jesus.
Yeah, I kicked my way out the box in 77.
So nobody can verify what I'm saying right here. So I can say whatever I want, which is confidence.
The best part about before the internet was you had no way of I had an encyclopedia. I would go home and check. I'm like, that guy's full of shit. I knew he was full of shit.
Yeah, that's how we ended up with Bill Clinton as president.
Bro, first black president.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
100%. Bill Clinton was the first black president. All right. Yeah, no, confidence. I think confidence is hugely important. I don't necessarily agree with the idea of fake it until you make it, but I do feel that if you carry yourself confidently, you'll find that, I feel like that rolls into a lot of other aspects of your life where you're like, I take the time to listen, to analyze, and I'll figure it out because I trust myself. But like, there are other people who are like, I know what I'm doing. And you're like, that guy doesn't know what he's doing. You can trust me. Definitely don't trust that person.
Yeah. I mean, and then it reaches into all kind of aspects. Like honestly, I mean, I do a lot of research, but there's some things that I know I could just take a little handful of something and I can use that as my defense, no matter who you are, because I know that you're not going into in depth of what I have. So as long as I like, for instance, when I went to court, just recently, I got my facts in my case.
Nobody's confident in court.
I know the laws that are against me, and I know that I'm on the not good side of this. But I also know let me look up this, and this real quick. Just a couple little tidbits that throws a monkey wrench in that reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
And as long as you state them, and you state them clearly, you state them articulately, and you state them like you know what the fuck you're talking about.
Everyone's
I got 2 judgments ripped up in front of me by judges saying, no, Mr. Torres, we can't do this to you. We're going to try this again.
There you go.
I mean, it's just, one little slip up. That's all you need from me. And I'll fucking attack,
Yeah.
The dude that I got a problem with. Oh, yeah. One Google search. Oh, somebody done did a complaint on some shit that you did and you're not fucking doing your job. But you're coming after me about my job? Boom! Parnell! Right there. Yelled it right out to the judge. Man, if you look online, look his name up. I mean, it's right there online. First thing you see, and he's coming at me. I'm being targeted. What are you talking about, Mr. Oh, so yeah.
I think you're 100% right on that, Margo, because like I think life in a lot of ways is kind of like a chessboard. If you don't have to be the best at chess, you just have to know how to analyze what the other person is or isn't doing. And as long as you're not going up against like a grandmaster, you can kind of see where they fuck up and take advantage.
Yeah.
Right. It's like in a pool game.
Yeah.
When I was learning how to shoot pool growing up, 40% of the game is skill. The rest is talking your opponent out of their game. There's been plenty of people that I knew were 1,000 times better than me on the pool table. But I'll first, as soon as we start playing, I'll start talking shit. Or I'll throw on my famous thing was putting on Shania Twain, "Man, I Feel Like a Woman," and dancing around the pool table.
A great song, by the way.
Going on. I fucking love that song.
That's a Canadian
Icon.
royalty right there. Yeah.
Dude, I shot pool in a fucking booba outfit. You know the booba outfit?
It's probably from a stripper like.
No, it was early 90s. It was like the right after the Teletubby. I was this big, fuzzy, pink, bald-headed fucking thing. It looked like a giant uncircumcised penis.
Oh my god.
And, I danced around. I fucking kicked ass.
So you've been doing the fuzzy costumes for a long time, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
It's been your thing for a minute.
Let's be honest. Well, that's the thing is what goes with confidence is also psychological warfare. Like that's it's 100%
damage.
It's the same thing. Well, look, we've all done this where someone keeps on talking and you just look at them. I don't have to say anything. You just go, mm-hmm. And they're like, "Why aren't you saying anything?"
That's I feel like how
What happened? Did we lose Cole?
The government got him.
Oh, damn. See, it's talking all that anti-white shit.
There you go. That's it. The whites got him.
Yeah.
There we go.
Got Irish car bomb under his toilet seat.
You're
not back. It's hilarious.
The fucking cat decided to just run past the router and knock it over.
Pussy fucked up straight.
Pussy will do that. That's fine. What were you saying, Cole? Are you still not back?
No, he's not.
I'm still. There we go. Am better?
Yeah. Okay. No, you're good. What were you saying? Nope, you're not back.
The cat fucked his game. The cat had confidence enough to say, "Shut the fuck up." The cat said, "Shut the fuck up." Meow.
I mean, yeah.
The cat said, "Meow."
Yeah, that'll happen. All right.
I think I'm back.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think that's where we're gone again.
Right now.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, hey, there you have it. The gods have spoken. No one will ever know what he wanted to say. I don't know. Are you back now?
I feel like it was the Irish voodoo came at me after I was talking shit about the Irish today.
Meow, I think you're full of shit, Meow.
Irish witchcraft.
Yeah, what do I want to do here? Yeah, that's fine. That's yeah. What were you saying?
Meow.
I don't even fucking remember now.
You don't remember Meow?
No, I don't remember Meow.
Meow, listen here.
I'm gonna quote Super Troopers because this is the only level of fucking comedy I know.
Bro, that is a treasure of American history, and you will give it the fucking respect it deserves, sir.
Right? Meow.
No, that was Beer Fest.
Chicken fucker.
I mean, Beer Fest was great, but Super Troopers, bro.
Beer Fest had nothing.
I didn't like Super Troopers.
That's because you're a bad person. That's because God doesn't love you.
Yeah, that's that. I have to agree with the Canadian.
Yeah. Listen, Leader Acola is one of the best scenes to ever bless the cinema. So
shenanigans.
You mean shenanigans?
As soon as you agree with a Canadian, you're wrong. So, bitch.
That's not true.
I feel like Cole was that person in the corner that got sprayed down with the hose and slapped with fucking the dough, the flour, just the big gut and the titties on top, and just his little winky on the bottom.
It's like it's delicious. It's for the lice, my friend. Yeah, no, but that's I think so that's my argument is that confidence is one part, the other part is definitely psychological warfare, and that's how it works. But so we are back on Wednesday with What the Fuck Wednesdays, and Thursday with Mental Health, which has been blowing up, and that's very enjoyable. But and then we are doing something important, as it's the series opener for season 5 of Hammered and Cheese. So we'll let you guys know what that's going to be about, because who knows? Maybe I'll have to
medieval plates, man. Look up that. Did you go on that channel I showed you, Cole?
Oh yeah, the medieval dishes.
I haven't had a chance to look at it yet. But
yeah, it's got some cool stuff. I mean, you know what? We should talk during this week and try and figure out what our cuisine can be.
I think it was either Victoria or Rochelle recommended that we do a dessert though, and I was kind of interested in that for the first.
Yeah, that was episode. Ray's all about the desserts.
Yeah, I'm down for a dessert.
All right. So Saturday is going to be desserts, and then Sunday is Generation Dan. So come check us out. Hello, my. Oh, it's fantastic.
We made it up on the Irish today.
I mean, we did. But that has been us. Have a wonderful rest of your day, guys, and we will see you in a couple days. Later.
Next.